Bryan runs on a ticket promising equality for all, vowing to be a voice for the poor and to take the fight to the country's elite.
The great combinations of capital have encroached upon the rights of the masses. No man can earn $1 million honestly.
This is William Jennings Bryan at a recent Democrat rally. He's a prohibitionist and a devout Presbyterian. According to him, Darwin's theory of evolution is a pack of lies. He's an enemy of the gold standard and an enemy of big business. It is certain that he will win the Democratic nomination. What do you think?
The Republican Party has a good candidate.
No. We have to buy our own president.
Desperate to protect the empires they've spent their lifetimes building, the Titans throw their full support behind the candidacy of Ohio Governor William McKinley.
William McKinley's campaign manager was an industrialist himself. And he went essentially hat in hand around Wall Street, dunning them, saying, if McKinley doesn't win, that crazy man Bryan will be president. And if Bryan is president, don't you realize what that is going to do to the credibility of the United States around the world?
Rockefeller, Morgan, and Carnegie each give over $200,000 to McKinley, the equivalent of $20 million today. The campaign is by far the most expensive in American history, and McKinley outspends Bryan by a factor of 5 to 1. The group wields tremendous influence, and they aren't shy about using it. Suggesting headlines and orchestrating PR campaigns aimed at getting McKinley elected.
It was easier to buy the publicity that you wanted in those days than it is now. The news media was a smaller market, and it was easier to feed information to your favorite correspondents then than it probably is now.
As Bryan's campaign gains traction, the nation's leading industrialists turn to fear tactics.
Many big employers, many big industrialists said, if Bryan wins the election, business is going to be so bad, we're simply closing shop. So if Bryan wins on Election Tuesday, don't bother showing up for work on the next day because there won't be jobs.
When the polls close, the nation's future hangs in the balance. For 20 long hours, Carnegie, Morgan, and Rockefeller agonize over the results, not knowing whether the modern country they helped build will still be the same when all the ballots are counted. As the results are tallied, the nation holds its breath until finally a president is chosen. Rockefeller, Carnegie, and Morgan have dodged a bullet. The country remains in their control. With McKinley in office, they're free to conduct business in the way they've become accustomed.
After McKinley's election, a number of the issues that had bothered the big businessmen conveniently went away. He was a man who was, in his philosophy, in his approach to politics, very much in sympathy with them.
McKinley rolls back regulations, and profits once again skyrocket. It's back to business as usual. And Carnegie, Rockefeller, and Morgan are set to become even more powerful than ever before.